Hey there. You know what? Some women, they have incredibly tender hearts. They feel everything so deeply, and they get discouraged so easily. Not because they're weak, but because they feel so much. Because they care so much. Because their hearts are so open. And honestly, she just needs someone to understand her. Someone to encourage her. Someone to remind her that what she's feeling is valid, is real, is okay. People say women have it harder than men, and in some ways that's true. There are things women carry that men don't always see, things women deal with that men don't always understand. The exhaustion that comes every month, the way her body changes and hurts and needs things, the hormones that shift and affect everything, her mood, her energy, her emotions. And it's not just physical, it's emotional too. The weight of expectations, the pressure to be everything to everyone, the constant balancing, the never-ending demands. And through all of that, she's supposed to stay strong, stay composed, stay okay. Never complain, never show that it's hard, never admit that she's tired. But you know what? She is tired. She is struggling. She does need support. And there's no shame in that. Take a breath with me. Just one breath. And as you exhale, release some of that pressure to be tougher than you are. Some of that belief that you should handle everything without getting discouraged. You're allowed to feel things deeply. You're allowed to be affected by life. You're allowed to have a tender heart. Let your shoulders drop. Let your guard down. Let yourself be exactly as soft as you are, without judgment. Because here's the truth. Your tenderness is not weakness. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. Your gentle heart is actually one of your greatest strengths. You feel deeply because you love deeply. You get hurt easily because you care genuinely. You're discouraged quickly because you hope sincerely. And yes, that means you feel pain more intensely. Yes, that means disappointments hit you harder. Yes, that means you need more encouragement, more reassurance, more gentle support. But that's okay. That's not something wrong with you. That's just how you're made. And you're made beautifully. Tonight, we're going to talk about something important. About being a woman with a tender heart in a world that often doesn't understand. About needing encouragement when you're easily discouraged. About being gentle in yourself when the world expects you to be tough. You don't have to be tougher. You just need to understand yourself better and surround yourself with people who understand you too. You know what nobody talks about enough? How much women actually carry. How much you're dealing with that people don't see. Every month your body goes through something. The pain, the discomfort, the exhaustion, the way your emotions feel amplified. the way everything feels harder during that time. And you're expected to just deal with it, to not let it affect you, to keep going like nothing is happening, to stay productive and pleasant and functional. But it is affecting you. It does make things harder. It is exhausting. And pretending it's not doesn't make it easier. It just makes you feel alone in it. Then there's the emotional labor, the constant awareness of everyone else's feelings, the managing of relationships, the remembering of details, the carrying of emotional weight for others. Women do this naturally, instinctively, and often it goes completely unnoticed, unappreciated, taken for granted. You're keeping track of so much. You're managing so many things. You're carrying so much emotional weight. And when you get tired, when you get overwhelmed, when you get discouraged, people act surprised. But how could you not get tired? How could you not feel overwhelmed? How could you not get discouraged when you're carrying so much? And on top of all that, there's the pressure. The pressure to look a certain way, to be a certain way, to balance everything perfectly, to never show that you're struggling. That's exhausting. That's overwhelming. That's a lot to carry. And it's okay to admit that. It's okay to say it's hard. It's okay to feel discouraged sometimes. You're not weaker than men. You're just carrying different things, different burdens, different struggles, things that aren't always visible, but are always there. So when you feel discouraged, when you feel tired, when you feel like you can't handle one more thing, that's not weakness. That's a normal response to carrying a lot. And what you need in those moments isn't someone telling you to be tougher. What you need is someone understanding what you're carrying. Someone acknowledging how hard it is. Someone encouraging you that you're doing better than you think. That's what you need. Understanding, acknowledgement, encouragement, not judgment, not criticism, not being told you're too sensitive. You're not too sensitive. You're appropriately sensitive to what you're actually experiencing. You're feeling the weight of what you're actually carrying. And that's valid. That's real. That's okay. You're allowed to feel it. You're allowed to need support with it. You're allowed to be encouraged through it. So tonight, know this. What you're feeling is valid. What you're carrying is real. What you're experiencing is hard, and you're doing better than you think. You're stronger than you feel. You're handling more than you realize. And you don't have to be tougher. You just need to be gentler with yourself and find people who are gentle with you too. Let me tell you something about your tender heart. The way you get discouraged easily. The way things affect you deeply. The way you need encouragement and reassurance. It's not a flaw. It's not something that needs to be fixed. It's not evidence that something is wrong with you. It's evidence that you have a big heart, that you care deeply, that you invest emotionally, that you hope genuinely. People who don't care much don't get discouraged. People who don't invest emotionally don't get hurt. People who don't hope don't get disappointed. So the fact that you get discouraged easily, that actually shows that you care, that you're trying, that you're invested, that you're hoping for good things. That's beautiful. That's valuable. That's something to appreciate about yourself, not something to criticize. But I know it doesn't always feel beautiful. I know when you're in the middle of feeling discouraged, it just feels painful. It feels like you're too weak. It feels like you should be able to handle things better. But you're not too weak. You're feeling appropriate emotions to what you're experiencing. You're having normal responses to difficult situations. The problem isn't that you feel too much. The problem is that you don't always have enough support. You don't always have people who understand. You don't always have the encouragement you need. Because here's what you need. You need people who get it, who understand that you're not being dramatic, you're being genuine, who see that you're not being weak, you're being honest, who recognize that you don't need to be tougher, you need to be supported. You need people who know that sometimes you just need to hear, "It's okay. You're doing fine. This is hard, and you're handling it well. You're not too sensitive. You're beautifully sensitive." You need encouragement, not criticism. Support, not judgment. Understanding, not dismissal. And when you have that, when you have people who understand you, who support you, who encourage you, you feel stronger. Not because you've become tougher, but because you feel less alone. Because that's the thing about tender hearts. They're strong enough to carry a lot, but they need encouragement. They need support. They need gentleness. And there's no shame in that. That's not weakness. That's just knowing what you need and allowing yourself to need it. So stop judging yourself for needing encouragement. Stop criticizing yourself for getting discouraged. Stop thinking something is wrong with you because you have a tender heart. There's nothing wrong with you. You're beautifully made. Your tender heart is a gift. Your sensitivity is valuable. Your need for encouragement is normal. You just need to find people who understand that, who appreciate that, who support that, and stop trying to be something you're not. You don't need to be tougher. You need to be appreciated for who you are. Soft heart and all. Easily discouraged and all. Need for encouragement and all. That's you. And that's perfectly okay. Actually, it's more than okay. It's beautiful. Now let's talk about something specific. Your cycle, your period, the way your body and emotions change throughout the month. This is real. This is significant. This affects everything. And yet, it's often dismissed, minimized, used to invalidate your feelings. Oh, is it that time of the month? As if your emotions don't count when you're hormonal. As if what you're feeling isn't real just because your cycle affects it. But here's the truth. Your emotions during your period are real. Your exhaustion is legitimate. Your sensitivity is valid. Your need for extra support during that time is normal. Your body is doing something significant. Hormones are shifting dramatically. Pain is real. Energy is depleted. And yes, emotions are amplified. That's not you being weak. That's not you being dramatic. That's biology. That's your body going through a process. And it affects you. Of course it affects you. And you shouldn't have to pretend it doesn't. You shouldn't have to act like everything is fine when your body is in pain. You shouldn't have to perform normalcy when your hormones are making everything feel harder. But that's what the world expects. Keep going. Don't complain. Don't let it affect you. Just push through. And you do. You push through. You keep going. You handle it. Month after month. Year after year. Decade after decade. That's actually incredible strength. That you deal with this every month and still keep functioning. Still keep going. Still keep handling life. Men don't understand this. They don't have to deal with it. They don't experience it. So they don't realize how much you're actually handling. And when you're tired, when you're emotional, when you need extra support during that time, it's not weakness. It's a normal response to what your body is experiencing. So give yourself permission. Permission to be extra tired during your period. permission to need more rest, permission to be more emotional, permission to need more support. That's not being dramatic. That's being honest about what your body is going through. That's taking care of yourself through a process that happens every month. And if people don't understand, that's their limitation, not your problem. You don't have to justify your experience to people who don't have it. You know what you're experiencing. You know what you need. You know what your body goes through. So honor that. Take care of yourself during that time. Rest more. Ask for more support. Be gentler with yourself. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without judgment. That's self-care. That's wisdom. That's taking care of your body and your emotions through something significant. You're not being weak. You're being realistic about what you're experiencing. And that's actually strength. So stop apologizing for it. Stop minimizing it. Stop pretending it doesn't affect you. It does, and that's okay. That's normal. That's being a woman. And being a woman comes with specific challenges that men don't face. Acknowledging that isn't complaining. It's being honest. And honoring that by taking care of yourself isn't weakness. It's wisdom. So do it. Take care of yourself, especially during that time. You deserve it. You need it. And there's no shame in that. Here's what I want you to understand. You're not too emotional. You're not too sensitive. You're not too easily discouraged. You're appropriately emotional for what you're experiencing. You're reasonably sensitive given what you're feeling. You're understandably discouraged considering what you're carrying. The problem isn't that you feel too much. The problem is that the world often doesn't validate what you're feeling, doesn't acknowledge what you're carrying, doesn't understand what you're experiencing. So you start to think something is wrong with you. You start to believe you're too much. You start to feel like you need to change. But you don't. You're perfectly fine as you are. Your emotions are valid. Your sensitivity is valuable. Your tender heart is a gift. What needs to change isn't you. It's the people around you. It's finding people who understand, who validate, who support, who encourage. Because with the right people, you don't feel like you're too much. You feel understood. You feel supported. You feel appreciated for who you are. With the right people, your sensitivity isn't a problem. It's valued. Your emotions aren't dismissed. They're acknowledged. Your need for encouragement isn't seen as weakness. It's seen as normal. That's what you need. Not to be different, but to be around people who appreciate you as you are, who understand your tender heart, who know how to encourage you when you're discouraged. And those people exist. They're out there. People who have tender hearts too. People who understand what it's like. People who know how to be gentle with you because they need gentleness too. Find those people. Surround yourself with them. Let them be your support system. Let them encourage you. Let them understand you in ways others don't. And distance yourself from people who constantly tell you you're too sensitive, who dismiss your emotions, who make you feel like something is wrong with you. Those people don't deserve access to your tender heart. They don't deserve the privilege of your emotional honesty. They don't get to benefit from your sensitivity while making you feel bad about it. Your tender heart is precious. Your sensitivity is valuable. Your emotional depth is a gift. And people who can't appreciate that don't deserve it. So protect yourself. Choose wisely who you let in. Surround yourself with people who understand, who support, who encourage, who appreciate you for who you are. And with those people, you'll feel less discouraged. Not because you've changed, but because you're finally being seen and understood and supported. That's what you need. That's what you deserve. That's what will help. Not becoming tougher, but being surrounded by gentleness. Not changing yourself, but finding people who appreciate you as you are. So stop trying to be different. Stop judging yourself for being tender-hearted. Stop thinking you need to be tougher. You're perfect as you are. Your tender heart is beautiful. Your sensitivity is valuable. Your emotional depth is a strength. Find people who see that, who appreciate that, who support that, and let go of people who don't. You deserve to be surrounded by understanding, by encouragement, by gentleness. And when you are, you'll realize there was never anything wrong with you. You were just with the wrong people. Now find the right ones. Let me tell you something about encouragement, about why you need it, about why that's okay. You need encouragement because you care deeply about doing well, because you try hard, because you want things to work out, because you invest emotionally in outcomes. People who don't care don't need encouragement. People who aren't trying don't need reassurance. People who aren't invested don't need support. So the fact that you need encouragement actually shows something beautiful about you. You care. You try. You invest. You hope. And when you care that much, when you try that hard, when you invest that deeply, of course you need encouragement. Of course you need to hear that you're doing okay. Of course you need reassurance that your efforts matter. That's not neediness. That's being human. That's having a heart that cares deeply and needs to know that caring matters. So stop judging yourself for needing encouragement. It's not a flaw. It's evidence of your beautiful, caring, trying, hoping heart. And you deserve that encouragement. You deserve to hear that you're doing well, that your efforts are seen, that your care is appreciated, that your trying matters. You don't have to earn encouragement by being perfect. You deserve it simply by being someone who cares and tries, by being someone with a tender heart who keeps going despite getting discouraged. That alone deserves encouragement. That alone deserves support. That alone deserves recognition. So give yourself that encouragement when no one else does, when you're feeling discouraged, when you need to hear something positive. Tell yourself, I'm doing better than I think. I'm trying hard. I care deeply, and that matters. My effort matters. My care matters. I matter. Say it. Mean it. Believe it. You deserve your own encouragement, your own recognition, your own appreciation. And seek it from others too, from people who understand, from people who see your heart, from people who know how to encourage. Tell them, I need encouragement right now. I'm feeling discouraged. Can you tell me I'm doing okay? That's not weak. That's knowing what you need and asking for it. That's self-awareness. That's emotional intelligence. That's taking care of yourself. Because you do need encouragement. And that's okay. That's normal. That's part of having a tender, caring, trying heart. So get it. From yourself. From others. Regularly. Consistently. Without apology. You need it. You deserve it. And there's no shame in that. It's necessary. It's fuel. It's what keeps your tender heart going despite the discouragement. So prioritize it. Make it part of your life. Make sure you're getting it regularly. From yourself, from others, from everywhere you can. Because you need it. And that's perfectly okay. Actually, it's beautiful. because it means you have a heart that cares deeply, that tries sincerely, that hopes genuinely. And that heart deserves encouragement, deserves support, deserves to be told it's doing better than it thinks. So hear it now. You're doing better than you think. Your efforts matter. Your care is valuable. You're handling more than you realize, and you're stronger than you feel. That's true. Believe it. Receive it. Let it encourage your tender heart. Now, let's talk about something important: being gentle with yourself, especially during the hard times, especially when you're discouraged. You're probably hard on yourself, aren't you? When you get discouraged, you judge yourself for it. When you feel emotional, you criticize yourself. When you need support, you think you're being weak. But that's making everything harder. That's adding self-judgment to the weight you're already carrying. That's being harsh with yourself, when what you actually need is gentleness. So what if you were gentle with yourself instead? What if, when you got discouraged, instead of judging yourself, you said, "I'm having a hard time, and that's okay"? What if, when you felt emotional, instead of criticizing yourself, you said, "I'm feeling deeply, and that's valid"? What if, when you needed support, instead of thinking you're weak, you said, "I need help, and that's normal"? That's gentleness. That's self-compassion. That's treating yourself the way you'd treat someone you love who was struggling. Because you wouldn't judge someone you love for getting discouraged. You'd comfort them. You'd understand. You'd be gentle with them. So why can't you do that for yourself? Why do you treat yourself more harshly than you treat anyone else? Maybe because you think you should be stronger. Maybe because you think you shouldn't need so much support. Maybe because you think your emotions are too much. But none of that is true. You're strong enough. Your need for support is normal. Your emotions are appropriate. So be gentle with yourself. Speak kindly to yourself. Treat yourself with the compassion you deserve, especially during hard times, especially when you're discouraged. Instead of, "Why am I so weak?" try, "I'm having a hard time and I need support." Instead of, "I shouldn't be this affected," try, "I feel deeply and that's okay." Instead of, "Something is wrong with me," try, "I'm going through something difficult and responding normally." That's gentleness. That's self-compassion. That's what your tender heart needs. Not harsh criticism, but gentle understanding. And when you're gentle with yourself, something shifts. The discouragement doesn't hurt as much. The emotions feel more manageable. The need for support feels less shameful. Because you're not fighting yourself anymore. You're not adding self-judgment to the struggle. You're just experiencing what you're experiencing with gentleness and understanding. That makes everything easier. Not because the situation changes, but because you're treating yourself kindly through it instead of harshly. So practice gentleness with yourself, especially during hard times, especially when you're discouraged, especially when you need support. Be the gentle presence for yourself that you wish someone else would be. Be the understanding voice you need to hear. Be the compassionate support you deserve. That's self-care. That's wisdom. That's what your tender heart needs. Not toughness, but gentleness. Not criticism, but compassion. Not judgment, but understanding. So give yourself that. Starting tonight. Starting now. Be gentle with your tender heart. It's doing the best it can. And it deserves gentleness, not harshness. You deserve gentleness. Give it to yourself. You'll be amazed at how much it helps. Let me tell you what your tender heart is actually capable of. What your sensitivity actually enables. What your emotional depth actually creates. Your tender heart feels deeply. Yes, that means you feel pain deeply too. But it also means you feel joy deeply, love deeply, compassion deeply, connection deeply. You experience life in full color, while others experience it in black and white. You taste the full flavor, while others get a diluted version. You feel the full spectrum, while others feel a limited range. That's a gift, not a curse. A strength, not a weakness. Something beautiful, not something broken. Your sensitivity makes you aware of things others miss. You notice when someone is hurting. You sense when something is wrong. You feel the energy in a room. You pick up on subtleties. That's valuable. That's important. That's a superpower, not a flaw. It makes you a better friend, a better partner, a better human. Because you notice, you care, you respond. Your emotional depth creates real connection. Because you don't do surface level. You don't do shallow. You do real. You do deep. You do meaningful. And that creates relationships that matter, connections that last, interactions that mean something. Because you bring depth to everything you do. So your tender heart, your sensitivity, your emotional depth, These aren't weaknesses. These are your superpowers. These are what make you special. These are your gifts to the world. Yes, they come with challenges. Yes, they mean you get hurt more easily. Yes, they mean you need more support. But they also mean you offer more. You feel more. You connect more. You live more fully. And that's worth it. The depth is worth the pain. The connection is worth the vulnerability. The full experience is worth the full feeling. So stop wishing you were tougher. Stop wanting to be less sensitive. Stop trying to have a harder heart. Those things would make you less you. And you is beautiful. You is valuable. You is exactly what the world needs. The world has enough tough people, enough hard hearts, enough people who don't feel much. What the world needs is more people like you. More tender hearts, more sensitivity, more depth, more people who feel fully and care deeply and connect genuinely. That's you. That's what you bring. That's your value. Don't diminish it by wishing you were different. Don't waste it by trying to be tougher. Don't hide it because some people don't understand. Own it. Embrace it. Let it be your strength. Your tender heart is your superpower. Your sensitivity is your gift. Your emotional depth is your treasure. So stop apologizing for it. Stop hiding it. Stop wishing it away. Instead, appreciate it. Value it. Let it shine. Because the world needs your tender heart, needs your sensitivity, needs your depth. And you need to stop fighting who you are and start embracing it. You're beautifully made. Your tender heart is perfect. Your sensitivity is valuable. And you're exactly who you're supposed to be. So be that, fully, unapologetically, beautifully, your tender heart and all. Tonight, as you lie here with your tender heart feeling heavy, I want you to do something. I want you to appreciate yourself, to recognize what you're actually handling, to acknowledge your strength, because you are strong. Even though you get discouraged easily, even though you feel things deeply, even though you need encouragement, you're incredibly strong. You're handling things that would overwhelm others. You're feeling things that would crush others. You're continuing despite discouragement that would stop others. That's strength. Real strength. Not the performative kind, not the pretend kind, but the real, deep, genuine kind. the strength of a tender heart that keeps loving despite being hurt. The strength of a sensitive soul that keeps feeling despite the pain. The strength of someone who keeps trying despite constant discouragement. That's you. That's what you're doing. Every day, through everything, with your tender heart and sensitive soul and easily discouraged spirit. And that deserves recognition, deserves appreciation, deserves acknowledgement. You're stronger than you think. You're handling more than you realize. You're doing better than you feel. So tonight, give yourself that recognition, that appreciation, that acknowledgement. You deserve it. You've earned it. You need it. Say it to yourself. I'm strong, even with my tender heart, even with my sensitivity, even when I'm discouraged. I'm strong. Feel it. Believe it. Know it. Because it's true. You are strong. In your own way. In your own beautiful, tender-hearted way. And tomorrow, when you wake up, remember this. Remember that your tender heart is not weakness. Remember that your sensitivity is valuable. Remember that needing encouragement is normal. Remember that you're doing better than you think. That you're stronger than you feel. That you're handling more than you realize. And be gentle with yourself. Be kind to your tender heart. Be compassionate with your sensitive soul. Give yourself the encouragement you need, the support you deserve, the understanding you crave. Not someday, not when you're tougher, but now, today, as you are, with your tender heart and easily discouraged spirit, and need for encouragement. You deserve gentleness now. You deserve encouragement now. You deserve support now. Not when you've changed, but exactly as you are. So rest tonight, knowing you're perfect as you are. Your tender heart is beautiful. Your sensitivity is valuable. Your need for encouragement is normal. And you're stronger than you think. Let that truth settle into your heart. Let it comfort you. Let it encourage you. You're doing better than you know. And you're more beautiful than you realize. Your tender heart is your strength. Your sensitivity is your gift. And you're exactly who you're meant to be. So rest in that. Trust in that. Be encouraged by that. You're beautiful. You're strong. You're valuable. Exactly as you are. Tender heart and all. So, here we are, at the end of our time together tonight. And I hope you feel different. I hope you see your tender heart as the gift it is. I hope you understand that needing encouragement isn't weakness. I hope you know that you're stronger than you think. Because you are. You're handling things with your tender heart that others couldn't handle with harder hearts. You're continuing despite discouragement. You're staying soft in a hard world. And that takes incredible strength. So sleep tonight, knowing that you're not too sensitive. You're beautifully sensitive. You're not too emotional. You're appropriately emotional. You're not too easily discouraged. You're understandably discouraged, given what you're carrying. And you don't need to be tougher. You need to be surrounded by gentleness. You need encouragement. You need support. You need understanding. And you deserve all of that. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. Because you have a tender heart. Because you feel deeply. And that's okay. That's beautiful. That's perfect. So tomorrow, when you wake, remember this. Your tender heart is your strength. Your sensitivity is your gift. Your emotional depth is your treasure. Don't hide it. Don't diminish it. Don't wish it away. Embrace it. Appreciate it. Let it be who you are, because you're beautiful exactly as you are, tender heart and all. And find people who understand that, who appreciate your sensitivity, who know how to encourage you, who are gentle with your tender heart. Those are your people. Keep them close. And distance yourself from people who make you feel like you're too much, who dismiss your emotions, who don't understand your tender heart. They don't deserve access to it. Your tender heart is precious. Protect it. But don't harden it. Keep it soft. Keep it open. Keep it tender. Because that's your beauty. That's your strength. That's your gift. And the world needs your tender heart, needs your sensitivity, needs your depth, needs your care, needs your love. So don't hide it. Don't diminish it. Let it shine. You're beautiful. You're strong. You're valuable. Exactly as you are, with your tender heart and your sensitivity and your need for encouragement. All of that is perfect. All of that is beautiful. All of that is you. And you are enough. More than enough. Exactly right. So rest well tonight. Your tender heart is safe. You're stronger than you think. You're doing better than you know. And you're more beautiful than you realize. Good night, dear one. Your tender heart is your superpower. Your sensitivity is your gift. And you're perfect, exactly as you are. Don't ever forget that. You're beautifully made, tender heart and all. And that's exactly what the world needs. Sweet dreams. You are enough. You are strong. You are beautiful, just as you are.